He cries a lot that he wants to die. A lot. Almost every day.
President Obama recently passed new legislation permanently banning the sale of bath salts. But even with them off their shelves, the Buffalo DEA says synthetic drugs are in their heyday. News 4's Emily Guggenmuss has been following this story and spoke with a family that says the designer drugs have ruined their loved ones' lives.
Diana, 4 years ago, the Drug Enforcement Agency first saw bath salts in western New York. In the past 2 years, officials say they've seen a significant increase. The people who create these drugs are smart and savvy and know chemistry, but have little regard to how these drugs will affect their users. And the results can be deadly.
Which is called spice.
This is Jason Lang. We caught up with him when the ban for bath salts went into effect. He and his sister Brandy Smith closed down their shop, Laughing Buddha, after learning more about the synthetic drugs known as bath salts.
Neither him or I wanted to have any part in selling any kind of a product or being associated with anything that could harm people.
Hearing that, it's hard to believe shortly after closing down their shop, Jason became addicted to bath salts.
I've watched my brother just go from having everything to having nothing.
Paranoia really super bad, and he comes up with a lot of stories. You don't know what's true, what's not true. And
Jason's mom, Nicolette, says he'll call 911 over and over, believing someone is after him.
He'll rent 2-3 hotels a night, go from hotel to hotel, because he thinks there's people following him and there's nobody there.
Paranoia and anxiety are effects Dale Kasperzak from the DEA says bath salts commonly cause.
They're snorted, they're smoked, and they will give you a similar effect as the amphetamines would give.
And they're also highly addictive. Kasperzak says because the drug makers constantly alter bath salts to avoid the law, it's hard to predict a user's side effects. And if the chemicals used to make the drugs aren't bad enough, he says manufacturers are using chemicals like carpet cleaner to cut the product and increase volume. Nicolette went to the store where Jason bought the bath salts.
I just begged him not to sell drugs to my kid.
She says the store owner called police and she's now facing trespassing charges, which she says she'll fight. And she says she'll also fight to get back the son she once knew.
You're sitting there, a grown man crying, he wants to die. Holding a Bible, he wants to die. And
it just feels so hopeless.
But then you go do some more because then you feel better, just because it's addicting.
I don't know if he'll ever completely be able to go back to being 100% normal.
And Kasperzak says 12 to 25-year-olds are most likely to use the synthetic drugs. And if you suspect a store or person is selling bath salts, you're asked to call the DEA at 846-6000. And we'll be posting Nicolette's entire interview about her son on her website. She talks about what it's like to deal with his addiction and also about her fears of losing her son.
It's so sad.
It's very, very sad.